I just love talking to people about the Camino, and this week we are talking to Jill, who is a first time Camino pilgrim. Welcome, Jill. And we're going to hear about what drew Jill to planning to walk the Camino, coming right up. So, Jill, welcome, and thank you so much for having a chat with us today. So, I've kind of known you online for a while, and I didn't realize it's your very first Camino coming up. Is that right?
It is indeed, and thank you, Rob, for having me today. It's been a long road to get to where I actually get on a plane in April, but canceled twice
Wow.
during COVID stuff. But so excited and a little bit terrified.
I think we all are, even with subsequent ones. So tell me, you say it's been a while. How did you first hear about the Camino, and what kind of drew you to it?
Uh, you know, Myself, like probably millions of other people, I saw The Way, the film, and it just actually resonated because it was a difficult time with some family
Mm,
issues and the idea of a pilgrimage, both from I've always known that I wanted to do this by myself, so nobody's going with me. I'm going by myself. But particularly then that it called to me because of the being able to do it by myself, to be able to walk and to contemplate and heal or whatever. And I know many people go to the Camino to heal. And it was a difficult time. I had an adult daughter that was having some challenges, and my mom had cancer. And so um, it, uh, it just, I wish I could come up with something more profound than anything else
mm.
I've ever heard about the Camino, but it's true. It just drew me, it resonated, and it stuck like a little seed in your choppers that never ever went away. And so I've planned and planned and planned and changed and planned. And in the end, I'm only partly planning and putting the rest up to God or whoever, and we'll see what happens.
That's interesting that it was Martin Sheen's movie, The Way, that kind of first made you aware of it. And I have to confess, it was the same with me. And I watched
A
that
lot of
movie
people.
and I turned to my wife and I said, I have to do that. So
Yeah.
what was it particularly, do you think, that resonated with you that made you wanted to walk?
Honestly, the first thing is not as spiritual as I'd like it to be, but I'm a photographer, so it was just the beauty of
Mm.
what they were able to show in the movie and the walking and the solitude and the interactions with people. And, obviously Martin Sheen was going through some challenges, so that kind of resonated a little bit with the loss of his son. But just the ups and downs of those relationships along the way, because I presume there's all kinds of versions of relationship building or separating, possibly even two, when people don't resonate as they thought they would. So it just all was attractive, really. But at first, it was just the beauty of what I was watching open up.
I,
Pyrenees.
I'm not sure whether I should say this, but so many people go, "Oh, look, it's just a movie, and it's the Hollywood version of the Camino." I have to say, my Camino was very like the movie.
Was it really?
It was. It was. It was the same sort of roller coaster of emotions, and I met such a range of really interesting people. And I didn't get
Yeah.
locked up in the local police station, but yeah, it
Well,
was.
there's that. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's great. So which Camino are you doing?
The Camino Francais. My plan is Saint Jean all the way to Finisterre.
Mm,
That last part will obviously be based on time that I have
mm.
left once I get to Santiago. And, I recently fractured my foot on the very first day that I went to do some training, literally 500 steps into my training, and I face planted. So there is some adaptations I can see that I'm going to have to make with that in mind because it will barely be healed by the time I actually set off, and I will have had no training. So I have to forgive myself a little bit starting
Mm.
out and be patient with myself, I think.
Yeah, start out slow. It's a marathon, not a sprint or whatever that term
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
So how long are you giving yourself to walk that distance?
I took 2 months off from work. I took a leave for 2 months, and I'm thinking this maybe 6 week mark. But I really don't have a judge. I'm really trying to be fluid, and I hope I get all the way there. It's possible I'll never do this again. You never know what's going on in life, and so I really do want to do the whole thing. But I also know that I can get a little competitive with myself and force myself faster than I probably should go. So I got to watch that too, especially not having any conditioning going in.
Yeah, that's excellent. And do you think if you have the opportunity, it might draw you back? Are you already thinking about another one, or is it, I just want to get this one out of the way?
No, not at all. Yeah, I would love to bring my granddaughters with me next time. They're 12 and 10 right now. And I told them that I'd prefer to have them be more like 15 and 13 or something, a little bit more, because my 10-year-old might get a little bit too tired.
Yeah.
But also I'm considering doing one of the pilgrimages through Japan. So my husband's totally not interested in going. And quite frankly, between you and I was glad, because I really did want to go by myself.
It's often the way, I think.
But he is a little bit interested in Japan. So maybe we'll do that, and then that'll put me up against the time my granddaughters could go, because I think they would really enjoy it.
I think there's a lot of people who love the Camino and walk the Camino, but walk it without their partners. And that's okay, because it's a thing you have to be drawn to, and if they're not drawn, well, you can't force them.
No, it's true. Yeah. But I think you did one with your wife, didn't you?
I did 2 with my wife.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. So I kind of arranged one for Pat, which was a shorter one of a couple of 100 Ks, because she didn't really want to try 800 straight out of the gate. And she loved that. And then we walked from Saint-Jean together as well. So I'll just say it's different walking with someone else. It's great when you meet people, and it's kind of serendipitous, and you just kind of drift in and out of each other's lives along the way, and you meet other pilgrims. I think it's a very different experience if you bring someone from home with you, because there's
I would imagine
different expectations.
You're thinking about them as much as you are the Camino. Yeah.
Well, Jill, it's fantastic that you have your first Camino coming out. I'm so jealous, because I haven't walked since 2018, and hopefully I'll get out there again next year. But maybe after you have made it all the way to Finisterre, you can come back and tell us what it was like.
Oh, I'd be happy to. I probably will have shed a few pounds and hopefully not acquired any more bruises or fractures, but I'll be happy to come back.
I don't know about the weight loss. I've never really lost much weight on the Camino.
That's all right.
The wine and the food is too much of a temptation. But very best of luck with it. A buen Camino.
Thank you so much.
And have a fantastic time. And thanks for talking to us.
Aloha.